All right then. Welcome, boys and girls, to Traded with Meatball. We trade stocks and options. Just an old man flipping stocks, but I'm giving you my knowledge for free so that you won't need me or anyone else, and you can learn how to do this stuff on your own. I am not a crypto expert, but I draw lines on charts, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And so let's get started. Dogecoin was running. It went from like 7 cents to 8 or 9 cents, and that's a big move. And it's all in the last few days. I got a 1 week chart, and I trade a little account here, 40, $50. Yes, I share my whole screen. I could care less. I got nothing to hide. And yeah, I was listening to Iron Maiden. Sorry. So we draw lines on charts to see when should we buy something, and this one's running. And so I draw lines over here. I use the trading view, and it's free and you can pay to upgrade, but I don't. And so let's draw some lines, okay? So I was looking at this last night and it was like right up in here. And I like the 5 minute chart, but when you zoom out, you get answers. We're going to talk about that. So it ran up, and then I draw these lines because it stopped and it went down, and nothing goes straight up, guys. But it didn't go as high as it did this time. And then, that this is the 17th, and then today, the 18th or whatever. And so last night, it decided it was going to go back down. It didn't make it as high as it did before. This is a series of lower highs. All right. It's telling you it's going to go down. And if you're not sure, just draw a line like this right down the top, and then you can see, and we're going to talk about that. And so I was up here last night and I was thinking about dropping my $40 into crypto. I like to trade stuff on the weekends, but I don't like to jump into it. I want to buy it when it does a crash like this. And the question is, when it's crashing or it's running, how do I get in? Where do I get in? And the answer is draw some lines, baby. So let's draw some lines, okay? Let's get rid of this. We draw some lines, and we're going to get rid of this too. All right, and that's a zone. And you guys can do this, and it's free on the on a trading view. You go right here, and I can pick a brush and I can draw. And if you see this on Twitter with a circle, that means I took that trade. Okay, I post them on Twitter, and I don't know where's my Twitter. Here you go. All right, here's my profile. And then so if you see me, and I like Johnny Carson, right? And here I am thanking people. You see me posting on Twitter that I have a circle on it. That means I took the trade. And yeah, you have to look. There's one right there. No, whatever. All right, so let's go back to the chart. If you see the circle on Twitter, that means I took the trade. And so let's draw some lines and figure out when are we going to get in this thing and why, right? And the why is up to you. Do not trade on my advice. I just want you to learn how to draw zones. And so this one was chopping a little bit, and it's going sideways right here. And when you draw these zones, I like to draw them on the 15-minute or the 1 hour, but you want to not go for the highest part or the lowest part where these wicks are on these candles. Look at the bottom of the candles and draw your zones and your lines along the bottom of the candle. They call that the body of the candle. And it's hard because it ain't perfect. And so where do you put it? Well, I would go right here on the top of these and maybe the bottom of these. And you can tighten it up a little bit. Okay, but it's not perfect, and you need to zoom out to the 15-minute or the 1 hour. So let's go to the 1 hour. You always want to zoom out, and you can thank Alejandro at King Capital. And if you check my profile on Twitter, you can see him. And you'll want to take the zone, and here's the key, guys. Remember, this is the key for the whole video. When you draw a zone, drag it left. You're going backwards in time. And Alejandro says when you zoom out, you're going to get answers. So the year to date is a daily chart. Daily, see? And that looks a lot different. And look how small our zone is. So take the zone and drag it left. And look what happens, man. You can open it up a little bit like I did, but son of a bitch, you get answers when you go left. Okay, look how many times it stopped in this zone and chopped. And then right here it stopped and it couldn't make it past it. And if you go out and zoom out again, you see I had this line I drew right here. And so when we draw these lines, again, go on a big chart. This is a daily. I don't want the big spike. I want the body of the movement. Otherwise, I get thrown off. And when you have a spike like this, it's maybe higher than the other ones. Drag it down. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. Drag it down, maybe. You can, if you want to be safer, lessen the risk a little bit. Drag it down so you're going off this one, not the highest parts, okay? But when you have something like this, you have to pick a starting point. And I picked this, not this, because this is a big spike. This seemed to be more along the lines of a trend, and I'm looking for trends. And so going back to something I trade, like a 30-minute chart, you can see this line that we just drew and how it came up above that. Well, this is important because Dogecoin had been on a downward trend for a long time. And the question is, where do you get in? So you draw something like this and it goes like this for 6 months or a year. And then you see it coming back up. That's a possible recovery, but nothing goes straight up. And sure enough, she's backed off quite a bit. Now, a general rule is that when something spikes or crashes, it can and it usually does give up half of this run or this drop. And so let's say 7 cents to about 8.5 cents. If it gives up half, that would put it where, guys? Right about in here. And son of a bitch, it stopped in there, didn't it? And so drawing these zones can really help you avoid jumping in and chasing something and paying too much. Marking the lows and the highs, it helps you spot these trends that she was backing off a little bit. Okay. And then when you see a dump like that, you don't want to catch it on the way down. You want to wait until it gives us a little bit of a reversal like this and it starts to recover. Okay. And then how do we know to get in? Well, we don't, but to lessen the odds and maybe tilt the odds or lessen the risk and tilt the odds in our favor, we draw these zones and then we zoom out and we take the zone and we drag it left, going backwards in time, and it will give us answers, okay? And you can also take that to the bank because you use this on any stock you want, and we do, and we kill them sometimes by drawing these zones, guys. And we traded the Rivian and you could see the circles I took, boom, and it went up. And then down here I told everybody on Twitter that it was going to bounce back up. And how did I know that? If you check my Twitter, I said it. It's because I had been drawing zones and I had identified this zone at $17 and support down here around 15. And nothing's perfect. I mean, what we're doing here, guys, is kind of witchcraft, the reading of the candlesticks and the drawing the lines in the zones. But it'll help cut down on the odds of us making a big mistake. And I'm a I'm a Danny Glover fan, and they're throwing chicken bones in the alley. It's voodoo, but you know what? Sometimes it works, man. And then we sit back and watch and see how it works out. And sometimes it does work out, and I love it when a plan comes together. I hope you guys make a ton of money, and I hope that you check us out on the Twitter. And you ladies are more than welcome here. I got 2 daughters. I want you to learn how to make money without me and without anybody else. And God bless you. You can do it, guys. All right. Have a great weekend. Good luck.